Okay, so we are going to be working in Excel Module 1, Project A, creating a budget summary worksheet. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have opened the file SCEX19 with your first and last name. And then the next thing you want to do is save this file. So we're going to do a file save as. And I am Dr. Davis, by the way. So we're going to save this file. And so save it to documents. In this case, I'm just going to save it to the documents, not to the. So save it in your document folder, and make sure you save it with your first and last name. Make sure you type that there, but also make sure that you change this 1 to a 2. Okay. And so over here, this is, so I just went through all of the getting started. Okay. So we saved it as a 2, and it says ensure that your first and last name is displayed in cell B6. So we're going to click save to save it in cell B6. Hold on. Okay, so it says here, it says ensure that your first and last name is displayed in cell B6. So I'm right here. And you want to make sure it's in cell B6, and they're talking about here, this is cell B and row 6, and my first and last name is displayed here. So that's good. So now let's move on to the project steps. Okay, so Josh is, he works for New Era Medical. He is asking for help in creating and summarizing his worksheet with revenue and expenses for the first 3 quarters of the year. So he's asking your help to determine the office needs that can meet the target profit goals. So the first thing it wants us to do is to go to the budget summary worksheet, cut the worksheet title from cell A1 and paste it in cell A1. I'm sorry. Cut the worksheet title from cell I1 and paste it in cell A1 to display the title in its expected location. So we're going to go to cell I1. We're going to go to I. Okay, so right here it's saying go to the budget summary worksheet. Cut the worksheet title from cell I1 and paste it in cell A1 to display the title in its expected location. So right now we are currently on the documentation worksheet. It wants us to go to the budget summary worksheet. And it wants us to go to cell I1. Go over to cell I1. Click on that. It wants us to cut it. So we go up here and we click cut. And it wants us to paste it in cell A1. So you scroll over, you click in A1 and you click paste. Okay, make sure that you always resave your work. So click save. And then it says, and more clearly. Okay. So now it's saying here, it says in cell E2, add the text number of, so that the complete text appears as number of salesperson and more clearly identifies the value in cell G2. So we're going to go to cell E2 right here, and it says add the text number of so that the complete text appears as number of salesperson. So we're going to click here, but you can do 2 things. You can click up here and type it in, or you can click here and type it in. and type in number of salesperson. It did not say make it bold, so I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to bold it, even though this here is bold. Although this is bold, I'm not going to bold it here because it did not say make it bold. So now it clearly identifies the value. It says number of sales per people. So I resave it again. Okay. Next it says enter quarter 2 in cell C4. So we go to cell C4, which is column C, and row 4. And it says enter quarter 2. Now, as I can see, this is bold text. So I'm going to go in and put a bold on it and type in quarter. Type in quarter 2. And in cell C4, and quarter 3 in cell D4. So I'm going to type in quarter 3. I always say. So next it says in cell G5, enter a formula without a function that subtracts the target revenue, cell F5. So we are right here now in cell G5, so we need to go to G5, which is column G, row 5. It says enter a formula without a function that subtracts the target revenue cell F5 from the year-to-date revenue cell E5 to determine how much revenue the field office needs to earn in quarter 4 to reach its target for the year. So now, this may be your first time in Excel and you don't know how to create this formula. So I'm going to walk you through that. Be subtracting, we're going to subtract cell F5 from cell E5. Revenue from the year to date. So you could do something like this, equal sum, and you can go F5 minus, I'm going to play with this one, E5, you have to put a parentheses, and let me see if that works. Hold on. Different way. I want to see if this will work by taking out the sum. Because initially I had the sum in here. Let's see if it works. And it does. So here they want you to enter a formula without a function. So initially I had a function equals sum in the open parentheses. So I took the function out and I put it in like this, equals F5 minus E5. Then you hit enter and it comes up with that variance. So that's how you enter that formula. Also, if you ever get stuck on anything, confused whether or not this is the correct variance or value, you can always scroll down at the end of your document and it actually reveals to you what it should look like. And I thought this should be a negative. It should be in the negative. So let's go back and correct that. The numbers are coming out correct, but it should definitely be in the negative. So, we need to switch this formula around. This should be E5. This here should be, this should be E5, and then this should be F5. There we go. So that's how that should look. Okay. So because again, it wants you to enter a formula that subtracts the target revenue cell F5 from E5. So you want to subtract this value from this value. And that puts it in a negative. So that's how you do that. So that's correct. So now we're going to calculate the gross margin for quarters 1 through 3 and year to date. Provide this information as follows. So in cell B7, let's go to B7. Enter a formula without a function that divides the gross profit for quarter 1, cell B6, by revenue in quarter 1, cell B5. So we have cell B6 and cell B5, and they want us to enter a formula without a function. So what that means is you don't type equal sum. So sum is a function, so you take that out. So you just use the equal sign, and they want you to divide the gross profit by the revenue. So it would look something like this: 125, 500 divided by B5, 1, 003, 500. And then you just hit enter. Okay, so this is the correct way to put that formula in. As you can see up here, this is how you enter it without a function, a formula. Okay, without a function, I'm sorry. That's how you enter it without a function. And it comes to 12.5%. Again, feel free to refer to the bottom of your document to see what it should come out with. Now, here's the thing. Never look at the document and think that you can just type in 12.5, because when the system corrects your work, it's looking for the formula, okay? It's looking for the function that they're asking you to put in, all right? So let's be true to thyself. And also, I will not do the entire, I will not go through all of these steps. I will just do, I always only do maybe the first 6 steps, and then you can complete the rest on your own. Just do it just to get you started. So now we're on 5B, because we've completed 5A. It says fill the range C7, so this is where we are. Fill the range C7 to E7 with the formula in cell B7 to find the gross margin for quarters 2 and 3 and for the year to date. So what that means is, first of all, it wants us to fill the range C7 to E7. So here's C7, and it wants us to fill from C7 to E7. So all of this they want us to populate. Okay, and it wants us to fill with the formula in cell B7. So all you need to do with that is, when you go to B7, there's a formula in there, and this is the formula. Okay, that's the formula. So all you need to do here is come to B7. In the bottom right corner of B7, there's a small solid box. You're going to click your left mouse key, hold it down, and drag from C7 over to E7, and release your mouse. And that formula populates. I don't know if that's correct, but we will see. And double check this is, if you click on cell C7, it should have, which it did not. So it did not, it should really show these numbers like it did here. You see how it shows the 125 divided by the 1003. Well, when I click here, it doesn't show that. So let me redo an undo, and I'm going to do this over. I'm going to try it a different way. Instead of clicking on this solid box, Yeah, don't click on the solid box. Let me correct myself. Click on the box itself. Just click in the box and then drag over it and release your mouse. So for 5B, fill the range C7 to E7 with the formula in cell B7. So we have this formula here in B7 without a function. So it's equal B6 divided by B5. Okay, so we're right here. B5, fill the range C7 to E7 with the formula in cell B7. So remember that formula does not have a function. So first we're going to fill B7, and the way to do that is you hit your equal sign, and then you go up and you get your B6, and then you want to divide that, put the division sign in by B5. And then you hit enter, and it gives you 12.5. So now 5B says to fill the range C7 to E7 with the formula in cell B5. So the formula is equal B6 divided by B5. My suggestion is this: do not type this in manually. You really do have to go and click on the different cells. So I'm going to go in and fill this, and to fill it from C7 to E7, you click on this little square box, which is your fill box. You click and hold your left mouse key down, and you drag over to E7 and release your mouse. And now you come out with the 12.9, 12.0, and 12.5. Make sure you save your document, and that is how you fill the range C7 to E7 with the formula from B7. Now we're at 6. We're working on 6A. We're going to be entering a formula, this time with a function, using the sum function. So we're going to be entering a formula, this time with a function. So 6A says in cell E10, so we're going to find E10, which is here. You're going to click and find the cell. Enter a formula that uses the sum function to total the regional sales data for the Northeast region. So the range B10 to D10 to calculate the year-to-date sales. So in cell E10, we need to enter a formula from B10 to D10 to calculate the sum. So the simple way to do that is we can click in cell E10, and then we go, you can do it two ways. You can go equal sum, open parentheses, and you can go this, hit a comma, click on C10, hit a comma, and click on D10, and then close parentheses, and you can hit enter. This is one way you can do it, okay? 696, 687. Another way that you can do it is by clicking in cell B10 and go to your home tab, go to your editing group, and if I put in this formula, it picks up the year-to-date as B10 to D10. So another way to do it, you can do B10, and instead of putting C10 in there, you can put a colon, and then you type D, you hit D10, and that's telling it to sum up all the values from B10 to D10, and you hit enter, and it comes to the 696, 687. Again, I would always check myself by scrolling to the bottom to see that that is the same year to date, which is right here, 696, 687. Okay, so now we're going to go back up. Number 6. Okay, so we calculated that. Now it says, see, 6B says use the fill handle to fill the range E11 to E13. So we want to fill this range with the formula in cell E10 to find the year to. So if you click in your cell E10, which is column E, row 10, you can see the formula up there. So 6B wants you to copy that formula from E11 all the way to E13. Okay, not E14 because E14 is in there. So to do that, you see a little square there in the bottom right corner. You just click and you drag it down over the cells and it populates with your numbers. And notice that cell E14, those numbers changed as well. So now I double check myself. I scroll down just to double check those numbers to make sure that those numbers are adding up or actually are the same, and they are. So now we can go back up to 6B where we were and continue. That's 6B. Also, you want to make sure that you resave over here. Completed the first 6 for you. However, this goes all the way to actually 12. So you can do the rest by yourself. I'm going to go on and do 7, and then the rest of them I will let you do by yourself. So it says in cell F10, so we're going to go to cell F10, click here. It says enter the value 925000 to provide the targeted annual sales amount for the Northeast region. So they want us to enter this value. So all you do is type in 925000 and you hit enter. It automatically puts the comma after the 5. Okay? And then it recalculates. Okay? So now what I want you to do is go on and continue and complete 8 through 12. And when you finish, your document should look exactly like this with the pie chart. All right? So hopefully this will get you on your way. This is Dr. Davis, and this completes the Project A, the Budget Summary Worksheet.